Hope you had a great weekend. Good afternoon, Evan. How are you today?
I had a great weekend. Did you have a great weekend?
I had a phenomenal weekend, and it started great. It ended great. Couple little valleys in between the start and the end.
I feel you.
And, of course, it all culminates with the bitch slap heard around the world as Will Smith bitch slaps Chris Rock. Chris Rock's got a show this Wednesday at the Wilbur in Massachusetts. The get-in price yesterday was $45. The get-in price today, $400. No joke. Which it actually made me think two things, right? Because you can't avoid this story. It's the biggest thing in the world right now. And there's a lot of sports to get to for sure. The two things that it made me think of, number one, the guy worked with Muhammad Ali for the better part of a year and became Ali for the movie, right?
Right.
And he doesn't throw a solid jab and a hook. Open hand slap is the most degrading thing other than spitting in someone's face that you can do to another man.
He also punched an alien and said, quote, "Welcome to Earth."
Right.
In fairness.
Aha.
So between the Ali training and the punching of the alien, guy's got a lot of experience punching.
Like, if I'm the family of Muhammad Ali, I'm suing him. I'm suing him. I want some extra royalties. You didn't learn how to box. You're not Muhammad Ali. That's number one. Number two, because I do feel bad for comedians now, because in theory, it could be open season on comedians now. You make like we've seen every comedy show I've ever been to, you make fun of the people in the front row. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm your Huckleberry, slap, right? But it made me think, sports in a lot of ways is like that. Everybody's got a hot take. Everybody's got something to say about somebody. Lately, Russell Westbrook, right, was the thing going around, and he's all pissed off because his kids are getting it at school, and Kevin Durant's mom upset at Stephen A. Smith or something, right, for the comments. Mm-hmm. It's going to happen again because in a lot of circles, Will Smith is being hailed as a hero. He defended his wife's honor. Of course, he laughed at the joke first, and only after she was upset about it did he go on stage and slap him.
That's a lot of us, though. We think something's funny. Our wife gives us a look. Quickly, our view changes.
Like, no joke. If you go back and watch it, he's laughing at the G.I. Jane joke. He turns left. She's pissed, rightfully so. She's suffering from a disorder, alopecia, which is no fun for anyone to go through, let alone a woman losing her hair, right? And Will Smith went from, you're dead. Not funny.
He knew he needed to make up for the laugh. So he thinks to himself, how can I make Jada happy?
Yes.
She clearly saw me laughing. I know what I'll do. I'll go on stage and slap him.
It's the old Rick James thing, right? What the five fingers say to the face? Slap.
What did the five fingers say to the face? What? Slap.
So anyway, I started thinking listen, we all hope this doesn't happen beyond this one event, obviously, because it'd be a bad place for a lot of people. But, who do you like in sports? The first two that came to mind, you two, I think, right? Kevin Durant against Stephen A. Smith. Mm-hmm. Russell Westbrook against Skip Bayless. LeBron James against Skip Bayless. You and Danny Jones, because you've never had a nice thing to say about him. Maybe they're tired of listening to it. Be afraid.
How about Giancarlo Stanton to you?
Yeah, but he and I worked it out.
No,
he and I worked it out. Aaron Boone made that worked out, smoothed it over for me.
You worked it out the way Will Smith and Chris Rock worked it out, all right? Give me a break.
Listen, I did not get slapped, and I don't want to get slapped, by the way. I don't want to be slapped by anybody, but sports is like that because, listen, your reporters are back in locker rooms now. Guys on TV got hot takes and all that now. To be fair, those guys rarely ever see the people they talk about.
Well, you know what else is different? So they feel
insulated from it, but don't think it ain't going to happen.
You know what else is really, really different? So last night, Will Smith goes on stage, slaps Chris Rock, and no one stops him. A couple of years ago, I'll never forget, Jason Vargas and Mickey Callaway. You remember Mickey used to manage the Mets?
Yeah. He had the problem about, this little thing called sexual assault.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Jason Vargas sort of looked like an alien. They were about to attack a Met reporter, Tim Healy.
Okay.
Jason Vargas was about to go after him. Here's the difference. There's 50 reporters in a locker room, so you can add security as the guy's about to do something.
Okay, right.
So when Richard Todd throws Steve Serby in the locker, there are other players and reporters to stop him.
Sure.
So in every situation, there's always that hold me back moment.
Right.
Last night, there was nothing stopping Will Smith.
No, like he was sitting 10 feet in front of the
So,
stage.
like, if Giancarlo Stanton came in this studio, me, Big Mac, Loogie, we'd all hold him back.
Nah, but listen, let's,
Not really.
that would be, do what you got to do. We'll take a quick commercial break and be right on
If
back.
James Harden came in this studio, because I have called him a quitter and a loser, which I'm
Yeah.
right about, and he was going to slap me, would you at least try to hold him back for a little
Listen,
bit?
of course I would. Violence is never the answer. Slap! Violence is slap. Violence is never the answer. So I tell you something else. Every one of you people that's like, I don't watch the Oscars. I never watch the Oscars. All of a sudden, everyone seems to have been watching the Oscars, right? I mean, so many different places tweeting it, retweeting it. Anyway, it was interesting, if nothing else, and we'll see what happens next, but I'm not going to be surprised. You know, your Bobby Bonilla moment, your Ryan Leaf moment, where someone's going to get pissed and slap's going to be the answer. And there is, from a man's standpoint, there is nothing more emasculating other than being spit on than another man open-handing slap to your face.
If we're doing a comedy show, and you're sitting down, and one of the comedians starts to make fun of you or make fun of your family.
Yeah.
Is there a moment where you would get on stage and say, all right, enough, and boom, slap the guy in the face?
I'm sure we all have that, yeah. Like, I always feel like if you make fun of me, that comes with the territory, right?
Right.
I got to eat that because I'm handsomely paid to do what I do for a living, and we are in the public sector, public view. So people being critical of you and I think we have to deal with that.
Sure, I agree.
Now, I think our wives and families and kids and all that stuff should be off limits.
But the difference,
I think someone went after one of my kids and my wife, there's a line where, okay, funny, not funny, you're going to get smacked.
The difference, though, I think, with us and Will Smith is Will's wife is in the public spotlight.
Right.
So she doesn't get, I guess, that same, I don't know, safety net that maybe my wife or your wife would have. We'd be like, hey, wait a second.
Right.
You've crossed that line. She's a public figure. And Chris Rock's made jokes about her before.
Yeah, 5 years ago he joked about her. He said there was the Oscars 5 or 6 years ago where there was a dearth of African-American nominees. And it was a big to-do. Like, come on, you can't be that tone deaf to their abilities and great successes in cinema, right? And she said she was boycotting the Oscars, but she also wasn't invited and wasn't nominated for anything. So he was hosting the Oscars that year, and he said, Jada Pinkett Smith's boycotting the Oscars. He goes, which is kind of like me boycotting Rihanna's panties. I wasn't invited, but I'm bummed.
By the way, much better joke than even the one from last night.
So anyway, I'm trying to compare, like, we all saw it now at this point. Everyone's got an opinion on it. I feel bad for Muhammad Ali, and I'm wondering, what's going to... He's being hailed as a hero.
Who is?
So, Will Smith.
Oh, a hero?
Yeah.
Come on.
He's been in a lot of circles. He's being hailed
Those
as...
are the wrong
He
circles.
defended his wife's honor after he thought it was hysterical. He's defending her honor. Meanwhile, there's a lot of sports stuff to get to. No particular order for me, Evan, but we've had the Giants and Jets owners yesterday and now today speak on the state of their team. Interestingly enough, John Mara, if you listen to John Mara, Daniel Jones is a franchise quarterback, which fascinates me. And I'm obviously, not giving you the exact quote, but he couldn't be more supportive of Daniel Jones. Like they think right now, as he does, I can't speak for Shane and Daboll, that Danny Jones is it. He's everything. And they're thrilled that he's their quarterback. And on the flip side of that, Woody Johnson comes out and says, among other things, when asked if the Jets should be a playoff contender this year, he's like, look, the last couple of years have sucked. So I go into every game thinking we're going to win every game we play. And I heard that, I said to myself, maybe this year excluded because I think they have had a good offseason, and we do have a certain level of belief, right, whether it's based in fact or not, in Zach Wilson and Robert Saleh right now and Joe Douglas. How can you go into every game as the Jet owner the last couple of years and say to your buddies, oh, yeah, we're winning this game? Like, have you seen the team that you've put together the last couple of years? Am I wrong on that, Evan?
You're right, but here's the problem with Woody Johnson. He then says, but I'm not putting any marker on this season. I'm not
Right.
putting any expectation on this season. So what do you really expect from this team then?
He goes, we want to win games, but I'm not saying playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, I am.
Right.
As a Jet fan, I recognize that the other teams are much better than me. I'm not going to be totally crazy about it, but
So then him saying, I look at it as if we're going to win every game is the emptiest words possible when you
Right.
follow it up by saying, oh, but there's no marker on this season.
Yeah.
Then what do you actually believe? What are you actually demanding from the guys that work for
it's
you?
just strange that they come across like they mean well, they want good things, but they're completely tone deaf to the fans. And Woody made the point of saying, I hear the fans. I'm very active on social
He
media.
doesn't hear the fans.
There's no way he hears us.
He hears what he wants to hear from fans. That's what he hears. He doesn't hear the cries from Jet fans that he should sell the team. He doesn't hear that. He hears what he wants to hear. It's a great trait some people have, where they only hear the things they actually want to hear.
I wish I had that trait. I only hear the other things.
Right.
Yeah, I don't see any of the good things. I only read the bad things and the critical things. So we got a lot to do. We got some football, obviously, out of the gate for you. We have a major problem with the New York Yankees. I mean, a significant, you could spend the next week talking about it. The Yankees have a significant problem, and if they don't want to admit it, I'm going to point it out because they have to admit it and take ownership of it. Because if you think that the Yankees are winning 100 games this year or winning a World Series, sadly, I'm here to tell you they're not. And it's because of one glaring problem that they have that reared its ugly head again this weekend, and no one's got nothing to say about it. They don't have an excuse for it. They don't have an answer for it. It is a major, like nuclear level problem that is going to stop them from any type of success at all this year. And Big Mac knows what it is. You can shake your head all you want, but every time I bring it up, I'm proven to be right again and again. And this weekend, again, the Yankees are in trouble. And I'll walk you through exactly why, Evan. You probably know. You're a smart guy. In a couple seconds, okay? We got lots to do. Joe's in Massapequa. Joe, what's up, Cookie?
What's up, my friend?
Hey, babe.
So, going back to this Will Smith thing.
Yeah.
Clearly, they're not boys because you don't slap your friend, on national TV in front of billions of people. But for Jada Pinkett, she obviously must have shot him a look or said something.
Yep.
And Chris Rock had no idea. So for her to think that everyone knows her business, that she has alopecia.
Well, apparently she has been very open about it. She has a podcast of some kind. So,
But you know,
I agree. I don't think he knew, but a lot of people
No,
did.
but we know Chris Rock's humor. He's one of the great stand-up comedians of all time. I
Right.
don't think him knowing would have stopped him from making that joke.
I think he actually came close. If you go back and watch it and over and over and over again,
I've done that.
he makes a point of saying, boy, I could. He says it.
He could talk about the open marriage. He could talk about Jada hooking up with other guys. There are many things he could have done to say, okay, you want to slap me? I'm now going to verbally slap you guys. He decided to take the higher road, but Chris Rock is not a PC comedian. So this idea that, Chris Rock didn't know about what she was
Doesn't
dealing
matter.
with, it wouldn't have mattered.
No, but I will say this: like everyone, he took the high road. He diffused it by not, striking him back or going after him or even really getting into it. But boy, did I want to hear him go off.
I did too.
Because he's good enough to do it. You know he's got the material. Oh, you slapped me? How about when Tupac had sex with your wife? Right?
You know why
or
he
this
couldn't
guy
do
or
it?
that guy. Like, the material's sitting right there.
You know why he couldn't do it? Will Smith walks on a stage, slaps him across the face, walks back to his seat. Not one person made a move.
True.
What's to say that Chris Rock goes nuclear on Will Smith?
Right.
Will Smith goes up there to physically attack him again, and the same thing happens.
I mean, it could have, because I think most people thought it was a joke.
Right.
If he goes up if he starts making fun of the open marriage thing, I mean, at that point, you got to figure, I know there's security there all over the place. You got to think at that point, someone rushes the stage, no? Because I do think Will Smith could probably kill Chris Rock physically.
Yeah.
Although the slap indicates maybe not. But yeah, he's twice his size, right? I saw some B-roll video of people who were just fans at the Oscars who put it out on, it went viral, where first Denzel Washington comes up to him, then Tyler Perry comes up to him, then Bradley Cooper comes up to him, and they're all hugging him. You'll give him the man pound in the back, and this and that. And I'm saying to myself, is anyone hugging Chris Rock?
No.
Right?
They threw him to the side because they've all been insulted by him at one point. So they're
Right.
like, F him.
Exactly right. Well, listen, we got lots to do. I'll be part of it, of course. I'm just trying. If you could think of, if you had to guess, like who's the next person, like an athlete though, to go nuclear
Russ.
on our. You think Russ Westbrook?
Yeah, because Russ has shown you a frustration with being called Westbrook.
Yeah.
Where, look, Durant and Kyrie and LeBron James, they've never actually shown that they're really that pissed off at Skip Baylesses of the world and Stephen A. Smith and all that. Russell Westbrook did a press conference in which he said, "My son's last name is Westbrook. You're insulting him." So
Yeah.
he's taking it in such a personal way that if a reporter says, "Hey, Mr. Westbrook," accidentally,
Yeah.
Russ may go nuclear.
He
on him.
may. He might, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's challenged some fans who've said it.
Yes.
Whether on purpose or by mistake. He
Yep.
has challenged some fans about
Yes,
it.
he has.
No one's going to feel bad for Russell, though, considering he wore the Kevin Durant clown shirt, if you remember, or the cupcake shirt
Yes,
back in the
cupcake.
day, right?
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting who's going to go off next. It's going to happen because now it's open season.
Aaron
Like,
Rodgers against somebody, maybe?
Aaron Rodgers versus Boomer, maybe? The Aaron Rodgers like, Boomer, get your name out of my mouth. I don't know. I mean, that could certainly be the case. I mean, it's on the table, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to play in the Super Bowl. Okay, right. Because that's what I'm going to do. You may not get to the Super Bowl, but if I get there, I'm going to play. I'm
See,
going to play.
if Pete Rose had slapped Jim Gray
Yes.
20 years ago during that interview,
No doubt.
everyone would have been on Pete Rose's side.
No one would have stopped it. Everyone would have said, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one for the, well, not good guys, but one for everyone. One for humanity. It would have been like Neil Armstrong on the moon. This is one giant punch for man, one giant beatdown for mankind.